Hailstones the size of golf balls smashed through homes, and winds ripped roofs off apartment buildings. Residents say they were given little or no warning of the approaching storm.
Yeah, it's all gone, you know, so it's pretty much all destroyed, you know. Some of us have been lucky down the other end to have a few dry rooms, but, you know, for the most part, everything in the living room and bedrooms and the balcony just gone.
On the roads, visibility was heavily reduced, and in the city centre, motorists had no choice but to pull over and wait for the weather system to pass. A month's worth of rain fell in just half an hour, flooding the streets and destroying cars. The winds were so powerful, dozens of light planes at an airfield were tossed around like toys. Trees were uprooted, crushing whatever lay beneath. Up to 90,000 homes were left without power. This, the worst storm to hit Queensland's capital in decades. Authorities say the clean-up bill could be more than 100 million Australian dollars. Insurers have declared it a catastrophic event.
It's very difficult to prepare for a freak storm like this. We are a very resilient state and people will be back on their feet this morning. I'll be urging the insurance industry to act swiftly but also to act compassionately.
So far, more than 9,000 claims have been made. Thankfully, no one was killed.
We are only hearing reports at this stage of 12 people being injured. I am astounded but so grateful that that is all that we've got, given the amount of shrapnel flying around last night.
The financial cost of the storm will be high, but for authorities and homeowners alike, cleaning up is the priority. The Army mobilised to help remove the debris, as well as restoring power to thousands of homes and businesses. Jonathan Samuels, Sky News, Sydney.
Brisbane residents have been busy cleaning up widespread damage after the region's worst hailstorm in some 30 years. The Army has moved in to help residents after ferocious winds sent huge hailstones bucketing to the ground.
On the southern bank of the Brisbane River, homes lie in ruins. The Supercell, which smashed into Brisbane late yesterday, tore timber and tin from the top of the Scenic Point complex. Across the river, Margaret Reed had sheltered beneath a doona, wedged under the remains of an air conditioner when the roof of her unit took off.
The roof simply just disappeared. It just rolled back and went away, and we were just left standing here. At least we didn't get hit by anything, which is quite phenomenal. Black clouds roared in from the south and unleashed a furious assault on the city. First at Archerfield with 140 km/h winds. Trees were torn apart in the city. Loose branches became missiles which shot through the streets. Right against the wall. People took cover at the University of Queensland as big trees were snapped apart and sent crashing into the road. An intense, dangerous situation, but it was about to get worse. The peak of the storm. So much rain and debris in the air, drivers caught in the open couldn't see, forced to hold on and ride out nature's furious assault. This was a spring storm, but it looked like a summer cyclone was lashing the city. The wind screeched, it picked up anything loose and hurled it through the air. There was hail too, a relentless torrent of ice from the sky which pounded the suburbs. In some areas it was so thick it bounced off decks and blanketed backyards. Bigger chunks blasted through windscreens and shredded the windows of high-rise buildings in the city. Shelter was hard to find when the almost unstoppable storm of falling ice punched through windows, sending flying shards of glass into homes. In Cordeaux Street at West End, a team of builders could only stand by and watch as their hard work swayed on its stumps.
Oh my God, I hope the house doesn't fall.
They had pre-warning of the storm. Fearing the partly renovated home could be in trouble, they wedged a 3-ton loader underneath.
This is a cyclone.
It worked.
I put the bucket against the bearer. I think that's what saved it. I've never been so scared in my life.
This block of flats in Hurston stood no chance.
This rooftop apartment and this family's entire belongings are now exposed to the elements. Residents say there was a loud roar and then the entire roof lifted off in one sheet.
Occupants captured the moment the structure let go, an explosion of building materials. The roof iron broke up as it twisted through the air, hitting the neighbour's house first.
Oh, it's horrendous. Louise was hiding under a table. And, you know, the noise when these tin came down was absolutely horrendous.
The crumpled shard of tin would sail another 200 metres and slice through this townhouse, carving through roof trusses and brickwork. The tenant was out getting a pedicure, a decision that could have saved her life.
Oh, yeah. Initially, she was totally shocked and couldn't believe what I was telling her.
In a city battered by the elements, there are so many stories of near misses. Close calls which could easily have had terrible endings.
As you can see, everything just got smashed, and we had hail coming in, would have gone 6 metres into the house.
There is significant damage in 50 Brisbane suburbs. Such a devastating strike, the Army was called in to help get the city back on its feet.
For a storm type event, this is probably certainly the worst in recent memory.